Nebraska gets absolutely embarrassed, humiliated, blown out at home in their final regular season game of the year versus the Iowa Hawkeyes. Let's talk about it because I am not going to hold back today. That was completely embarrassing. I am ashamed to be a Nebraska fan. Absolutely ashamed. And we've heard that sentence before. It has been embarrassing to be a Nebraska fan my entire life. My entire life. With Mike Riley, with Scott Frost, year one of Matt Rhule, year two of Matt Rhule, and you thought that maybe things would be different this year. And yet every single Black Friday, Iowa rolls to town and shows us how much of a joke we are and how far away we truly are from where we used to be. I am absolutely ashamed. Ashamed of this team, ashamed of this coaching staff. And I'll give credit right where credit's due to Iowa. Okay, Iowa's not the best football program in the world. They're not going to win national championships, but they're competent, they're stable, they have a great head coach, a great defensive coordinator, and they have our number every single year. So to all the Iowa fans who are going to come in the comment section trolling me, credit where credit's due. You guys win today, and you guys won big. So shout out to you guys. Good luck in the bowl game. But this is about Nebraska. This is about Matt Rhule. This is about the incompetency right now going on in Lincoln. Because really, I knew this game was over after the first quarter. I think we all knew this game was over at halftime. I'll tell you a statistic right now. In 3 years so far with Matt Rhule in Lincoln, he has never came back and won a game in which we were down at halftime. Not once. I will repeat that to you. Matt Rhule has never won a game in which we were down at halftime in his entire tenure at Nebraska. That is an embarrassing stat with that alone. Take this game out of the equation. The fact that Matt Rhule's never even made any adjustments whatsoever. We could be down 1 point at halftime and the game's completely over. We were down 8 points and there was some hope in maybe some people's mind. Okay, maybe we could come back. It didn't look too terrible in the first half. I knew it was over because Matt Rhule cannot make adjustments. His coaching staff can't make adjustments. And the culture that's supposedly so much better than what it used to be, it's not any better. It's not any better. This team is soft. They've always been soft. And they need to be spoon-fed everything. They need the game to go exactly the way they're planning. They need to be up 14-0 in the first quarter, 7-0 in the first quarter. And cool, we can win close games this year. Cool. Who do we beat in a close game? Michigan State, Maryland, Northwestern, all of these garbage teams. When we look back on this year, we did not beat a single team with a pulse outside of Cincinnati. Okay, we did not do anything with the easiest schedule in the Big Ten. The year 3 jump that never was. We'll talk about Matt Rhule. Let's talk about the game real quick because absolutely embarrassing. Scott Frost was here for four and a half seasons. He played Iowa 4 times. Scott Frost never lost to Iowa by more than 7 points. We'd like to think that we've made progress in the Scott Frost era. Iowa really hasn't made too much progress. They're always the same Iowa team. They're always pretty decent, but they're never, again, a world beater. So Iowa's the same old Iowa team. They're not any better, they're not any worse. We'd like to think Nebraska got better, and yet we got blown out today. So if Scott Frost never got blown out by Iowa, but we did today, that tells you how much progress we've really made. Let's talk about the performance. Defense was absolutely horrific. One of the worst defensive performances we've ever seen. And again, this was Iowa football. We played Iowa football, not a world beater team. Don't have a super great quarterback. Don't have a super great running back this year. We know their wide receiver core isn't very good. And they put up 24 points. And we didn't commit a single turnover in the first half. And yet they still walked down the field every single time they touched it and scored a touchdown. John Butler should be ashamed. Terry Braden, if he has any self-dignity, he would resign tomorrow. The worst defensive line in the history of the program. I'm fed up, man. I'm fed up. Seriously, I'm fed up. We gave up 6 yards a carry in the first half. Again, no pressure from the D-line. They dog-walked us. They walked all over us. Mark Gronowski looked like a Heisman Trophy winner out there. The secondary got exposed. We played against one of the worst wide receiver corps we'll play all year today. And Sear Wright had a terrible ball game. Rex Guthrie looked like he didn't even deserve to be on the football field. Got ran over for a touchdown very early on. Even Deshaun Singleton struggled. So, again, this was the last game the seniors would ever play in, and they didn't show up. They didn't show up. A lot of the seniors did. And a lot of the young players, we punted on the entire 2026 recruiting class because of the young players we feel great about. These young players are just as bad. These young players aren't good. So our recruiting class is garbage because we feel good about these young guys come back. They're terrible too. Everybody's terrible. Coaching staff terrible. Players are terrible. Efficiency. We can't convert in the red zone. Dana Holgorsen hasn't done that all year long. We can't convert on third downs. Multiple crucial penalties. We are undisciplined to our core. About as undisciplined as the Scott Frost era, if not more. Okay, it's unbelievable. The wide receivers were terrible today. They've been terrible all year long. I'm actually kind of happy that they played as bad as they did because people are finally understanding how bad of a job they've been doing and how they've not doing any service to Lateef or Dylan Raiola. Dane Key had 3 crucial drops. That man should return his money that we gave him. $1 million. Yeah, he was terrible. On the year, what do you have? 400 receiving yards. He didn't have a single game with over 60 receiving yards in the Big Ten. Disgraceful. Jacory Barney with the muff punt. Awful. Isaiah Hunter didn't really do anything. Quinn Clark dropped the ball in the red zone, which was a beautiful, beautiful ball by TJ Lateef for a touchdown, and Quinn Clark jumped too early. Why is Quinn Clark even in the ball game? Why is he even in the ball game? It's these personnel mistakes. I don't even want to blame the players. They shouldn't even be on the football field. Matt Rhule is the one bringing them out there, though. Again, this team looked completely unprepared. How can that be the case? How can that be the case? Are we ever prepared? Because it feels like we say that almost every single week. The team's not prepared. That falls on the coaching staff, doesn't it? So we lost the battle of the trenches. We were clearly not we're not the most efficient football team today. We committed so many penalties. Defense was horrific. John Butler's horrific. Coaching staff's horrific. I mean, there were a couple strings. I don't even think we played the worst football game in the world despite the score. I mean, Emmett Johnson. Let's talk about Emmett Johnson. For him to lose in his final ever game as a Nebraska Cornhusker, man, that's terrible. Because Emmett Johnson carried the entire team on his back. And I'm going to ask you a question right now. To all the people who might think that Matt Rhule made any progress this year, what would our record be if Emmett Johnson was not a part of this football team? Seriously, what would our record be? We would probably win 3 games, maybe 2. Maybe 2. Disgraceful. That Emmett, his career was wasted at Nebraska. He probably should have transferred. When he entered the portal, he probably should have left because he would have won the Heisman somewhere else. But he did what he did this year, carry the football team once again today. The only way we can move the football is with Emmett Johnson. Again, my heart is broke for him. It really is. TJ Lateef, I thought TJ played all right again. But again, the offensive line, awful. Okay, the receivers dropped so many passes. TJ put some balls on a dime, and the receivers dropped it every single time. It's a complete shame what this team's become. It's become a laughingstock, more and more of a joke than ever before with Matt Rhule in year 3. And you know what? Shout out to John Johnson over there at Coronation. Last week he said that the Penn State game was the game you could look back on and say, okay, that's when we knew Matt Rhule wasn't going to work out. And at the time, I watched the video and I said, you know what? Maybe he's taking a little bit too far. Maybe he's just a little bit too emotional. And I'm emotional right now. I'll tell you what, I deserve to be emotional. We all deserve to be emotional. This was disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Matt Rhule should be ashamed of himself. So this is the game we can look back on and say, yeah, this is when we knew Matt Rhule was going to work out. The year 3 hoax. The year 3 hoax. The year 3 myth. And if Matt Rhule has any decency, he should publicly apologize in his press conference right now. He should go to his press conference and say, you know what? I'm absolutely ashamed to be Nebraska's head coach, not because Nebraska is a bad program, but because I have not done anything with this position. I'm ashamed that I got an extension. I've not deserved that. That's what Matt Rhule should say. Because the team is not prepared. We have made no jump in 3 years. We were more competent with Scott Frost versus Iowa. With Scott freaking Frost. We've made no progress. We wasted the easiest schedule in the Big Ten. Every single team we played this year, we either lost or we won the very close ball game. We played garbage Michigan State, garbage UCLA, garbage Northwestern, garbage Maryland. And it looked like we were pulling teeth to win that football game. And everybody was so happy at the time. Well, we won a close game. We won a close game against a terrible team. And then when we play teams with a pulse, like Minnesota, like Iowa, like Penn State, we get dog-walked, embarrassed. But thank goodness we gave Matt Rhule that extension, right? Thank goodness we did. And I know we like to blame the entire coaching staff, and don't get me wrong, the coaching staff's terrible, besides Matt Rhule. Like, we like to blame Brady, we like to blame Donnie, we like to blame Holgerson, John Butler. I get it. The rest of the coaching staff's not doing their share. But at some point, when you're in year 3 and you just lost to Iowa in a blowout fashion, the worst it's been since Mike Riley, you got to point the finger at the head man. You got to point the finger at the head man. A man who clearly has installed a weak culture. A man who clearly is not bringing the best out of the talent. A man who does not know how to win the Big Ten with weak offensive lines, weak defensive lines, with a weak defense, with multiple bad decisions, whether it was recruiting decisions, whether it was coaching decisions, hiring John Butler in the first place, bringing guys who were not experienced when he initially got here. Like, what has Matt Rhule even done well? But at least we gave him that extension, right? And really, that extension shows you how far Nebraska's truly fell, you know. And I told you guys, I'm not calling for Matt Rhule to be fired to this very moment. Like, I'm not saying Matt Rhule should be fired tomorrow. But I told you guys at the time, like, Matt Rhule didn't deserve anything. He didn't deserve anything. He's barely won here, but we gave it to him because we were scared he was going to leave. And that tells you how far we fell. Like, that we're making business decisions based on the fact that we're scared that our below average head coach is going to leave us. So Troy Dane should also be ashamed. I mean, this is a dark day in the history of Nebraska football. It's just a dark day. And I'm emotional, man. I don't want to get emotional, but I was had the better of us for a very long time, my entire life, man, my entire life. And it feels like Nebraska, we were finally going to make progress on that role this year. I got so excited for this year, 9 wins. I thought we were going to make this great bowl game. I was excited about Dillon, was excited about the offensive line, was excited about the defense. I didn't expect this year to be perfect. I don't think anybody did, man, but I thought we were going to beat Iowa. I thought we were going to at least have one signature win. And nothing left to be the case. At least we had Emmett. But again, if Emmett wasn't here, we would have won 3 games. And you know what's terrible, man? I have no hope in this team doing anything next year. No hope. With the hardest schedule in the Big Ten. If Matt Rhule can't even beat Iowa. What do you think is going to happen when he plays Ohio State? When he plays Oregon? When he plays Iowa again next year? When he plays Indiana, Illinois, Washington? Yes, that schedule's legit. We are not going to make a bowl game next year at that rate. We're going to lose the bowl game at this rate. Emmett Johnson even play the bowl game. So I'm angry, sure, and I'm going to be more angry as the day progresses, but I'm just sad. And Matt Rhule's a fraud. He's a fraud, man. This is a hoax. It's a fraud. It's a myth. This man's too busy doing podcasts. This man's too busy talking to the media, talking about how great this time is going to be, how great practice went this week. Scott Frost could win 7 games with this easy of a schedule. Scott Frost never had a schedule this easy, and I'm not a Scott Frost apologist. That dude was a terrible head coach. He was terrible. He should have been fired after year 3. But the fact of the matter is we're sitting here after year 3 thinking we were going to make a big jump. We did nothing. We're going to lose that bowl game. And, oh, great, we have all this money to spend in the portal. Doesn't matter. Our head coach is still incompetent. Our head coach still can't do anything in these type of moments. He can't get the team prepared to go. So am I calling for Matt Rhule to be fired? Maybe not. I'm sure people will be. But I'll have the stones to tell you that man is he has not been a good head coach in Nebraska. I don't want to say what I want to say, but he should be publicly ashamed. He should apologize. If he had any stones, he would apologize right now. He would apologize. And I'm going to tell you this, he's not going to be a very popular man in the state of Nebraska these next couple months going to the offseason. But again, credit to Iowa, man. Again, Gronowski's a stud. They got a defense per usual, stud coach. They're everything we're not. And we used to hate him for it, but now I can only respect it. I was okay with being mediocre. They're okay with winning 7 games a year, 8 games a year. You know what? They can do a lot worse than that. And they're beating our butt every single year and laughing about it. So credit to Iowa. But Matt Rhule should be publicly ashamed. And if he had any stones, he's going to make some tough decisions. He's here. We're stuck with the guy. So it's time for you to fire Donovan Raiola. It's time for you to fire Terry Brand, which was an awful hire who you should have never hired in the first place. John Butler's clearly in over his head, along with all these other guys. So we're stuck with you, and you have a lot of soul searching to do over these next couple months. But at least make some tough decisions. And at least give TJ Lateef the reins for 2025 or 2026, because at least he's a humble young man. At least he's somebody who cares about Nebraska over another quarterback who's all about the money, all about himself. And that's me talking about stuff I don't even want to talk about. I shouldn't be putting that out public, but at least TJ Lateef's loved in that locker room right now. And that's a young man who's hurting. I bet the family, the other quarterback we had is pretty much celebrating this result, because they were never room for him. They were never room for TJ. They were never room for that family. This university, man. Anyways, that's me. Well, I'll go on my live stream right now. I'm going to rant. I'm going to be angry. Let me know your thoughts down below about everything. Hey, if you made this far, hit the like button, subscribe. As always, go ahead, go Matt Rhule, and I'll see you in the next one.